everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is day 5 in a 7-part mini-series, Bullet Journaling for Beginners. If you are not subscribed, make sure that you click on that red button down below and get the notifications because we do still have a couple more days of this left, and after the series is complete, don't worry, it's not going to go all silent on this channel. We still put out new videos every single Thursday. So make sure that you hit that button down below, subscribe, and get the notifications. So collections are my favorite part of bullet journaling by far. I love the ability to have the freedom to do my own daily and weekly pages, don't get me wrong, but collections, they give me a chance to be creative, to kind of express myself in some way. And it's always really, really fun to kind of look back on previous months and just kind of be re-inspired, kind of reflect on some things, whether it's the gratitude log or even like my time tracker, kind of looking back and seeing, you know, where my time was spent. And it's always a really good way to kind of look back on a month or several months, however, and just to kind of see some patterns and see what's really working well and some, you know, areas that you might want to adjust in your life. So today we're going to actually look at my bullet journal and some previous journals that I have, just to kind of get some ideas of collections that I've created. All right, so today we're going to be looking in my bullet journals and just kind of looking at some of the collections that I've created. Hopefully it will inspire you guys to add a collection or two to your bullet journal. I apologize for the light this evening. I'm filming at a different time than I normally do, and it's pretty much dark outside, so I'm having to use artificial light, and that never works as well. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so I'd like to start out in my first bullet journal, and we're just gonna I've kind of bookmarked some pages, and we're just gonna look at some different things that I've done. All right, so the first one, this was at the beginning of June, and I created a goals page, and that's considered a collection because it's not something that you're rapid logging every day, but I put it at the very beginning of the month, kind of gives you like an overview of what I wanted to get done during that month. And then this is also considered a collection, and I was doing a running challenge in June. Unfortunately, I got really sick at the end of the month and didn't get to finish it, but this is just where I kind of logged how much I ran and what my time was, which was really slow because I run really slow. All right, and then at the end of the month, I did this, which was just kind of like a reviewing the month, and I took those goals and I just kind of was like, okay, this is what went really well, and this is what didn't. Okay, and then if you can see, I did the same thing in July with goals. All right, and then I created an Instagram tracker, and I'm actually still using this tracker. Even though I'm in a new journal, I kind of refer back to this whenever I hit a mark, which is kind of cool. I still get to utilize the tracker, or the old journals. The next page is, so this was my one line a day for I think this was for July, sorry. And this was like part mood tracker, part journaling. So I got to like put in like one thing that happened during the day. And then this was kind of a mood, like a color, and this is how it related to it. There's a lot of different ways to do mood trackers. I think one of the most common ones is the year in pixels, which you've probably seen on Pinterest, which is where it has like a little square for every single day, like for the whole year. Unfortunately, my bullet journals do not last a whole year, so that would not work for me. So this is what I do. I kind of do it on a monthly basis. All right. Packing lists are a common collection in my bullet journal. I make a separate packing list for every single trip I go on, and I travel about once a month usually for business. And I probably should just have like a set one at the front of my book, but my packing lists tend to change depending on where I'm going, what time of the year it is, all that kind of stuff. So I just make a new one. Okay, And this is a gratitude log, and I'm going to show you a different kind of gratitude log in this journal, but this page is by far my favorite page that I've ever made in either journal, any journal that I've had. It's beautiful, it's Instagram worthy, and basically each one of these rays was a day, and I would write one line of something I was grateful for. So, you know, coffee is my friend. It means I was grateful for coffee that day. Some of them were, you know, my husband took me out on a date, got a new book, like just like different things. You know, sometimes I don't remember where it was, but like it was just that, you know, we had sunshine or whatever, like little tiny things that I'm grateful for. Okay. This was a page that I created because I ran out of, or I was coming to the end of my journal. I didn't have enough pages to go a whole nother month, but I still have some empty pages in here. And I actually still have a couple that are still empty. And I may come back and do something similar to this as well. But I just put a whole lot of kind of feminist woman power quotes. And I just think it turned out beautiful. And I love it. So quotes are a great collections page. You can do it as like just one quote. You can do it as like multiple, you know, as you see new quotes that you like, fill them out. Okay, and this is a collection that transferred into my new journal when I started that one, and this is the Level 10 Life, and I will be doing a video about this in a future video sometime. It's kind of a big project, so I'm taking my time with it, but it will come out, I promise. But this Level 10 Life is from the Miracle Morning, and I can't remember, Hal Elrond, there we go. He's the one that created this. Boho Berry does a wonderful video and blog post about the Level 10 Life, which is where I found the idea. It's very popular among bullet journals. This or the 90-day goal setting, which is another very popular option. And the last one in this one is also a really common collection for bullet journals. Unfortunately, I started this one at like the end of when I was using the journal, so it doesn't look very filled out. But basically it was a reading challenge and then like some books that I wanted to read. All right, moving on into this, my current journal. And if you'll see, most of these happened at the front because I got smart and put all my collections at the beginning. Okay, so the first one is this Lunar Abundance, and it's not a collection in the sense that it's something that I go back to and write in every day or every week or whatever, but it is something that I go and refer back to. So the Lunar Abundance is by Ezzie Spencer, and she has this great website, and it's lunarabundance.com, and I'll link it. I'll try to link it in the description below. But basically, she talks about how the different moon phases and how they kind of go together in your goal setting and achieving abundance in your life. And so there's, you know, each phase has either a yin or a yang, and it's either a reflection period or an action period. So I wanted to kind of write the things that I learned from the podcast that I listened to from her, and then that's where this spread came from. All right. So this is kind of more of a traditional collection in the fact that I refer back to it every single month and put in new stats. So it's my social media tracker. I just track the followers, views, different things for my blogs, Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube. Okay. This, again, it's just something that I refer back to occasionally. It's a self-care tracker. Not a tracker, but just some things that, like, if I'm having a bad day, these are just some things that I can do to kind of realign my mind and just, take care of myself. All right, this was something that I made back at the beginning of August. I wanted to do a Whole30 challenge. Unfortunately, it didn't last very long. I'm gonna do it again. Maybe not Whole30, but something similar to it. But this was just like the good foods to eat, the bad foods, that kind of thing. All right. And then these were some monthly trackers and things that I referred back to every day usually. And sometimes it wasn't quite every day as this. So this is a different kind of gratitude log. And instead of finding something that I was grateful for every single day, I was finding things that were very memorable for me and putting it in this gratitude tracker. I got to use different fonts. I'm still terrible at handwriting, but I'm getting a little bit better. So, little things like coconut water or, my job requires me to go through some playgrounds. And so my gratitude for that day was playgrounds that I can climb through easily because I'm not a child. And then this was a mood and sleep tracker. So I tracked how many hours I got of sleep and then how that affected my mood, my energy, all that other stuff. Okay, this was actually a self-care tracker. There we go. So these were things that I did specifically on that day to, take care of myself. And so I had to be very, very mindful of it because there would be some days where, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I haven't, done anything for myself today. This is another collection I refer to almost every single day, and that's just a business mileage tracker. So as you can see, the collections don't have to be like super fancy or artsy. They can be very simplistic, but something that's essential to your daily schedule and your daily life. I have a company car and I have to record my mileage at the end of every month, and I have to put in what's a business mileage and what was personal mileage. And so having this tracker that I write in when I leave in the morning and then when I get home every night, it really, really helps rather than having to try to find, get into the website and track it that way. So this was just so much easier for me. Okay. All right. This was actually something I created because I accidentally skipped a page, and so I needed something to kind of fill out. So this was something that we talked about in my therapy, and I wanted to kind of commemorate it. So as you can see, again, your collections don't have to be something that you're tracking. They can be something that you, if you listen to a really good podcast and you wanted to make some notes about it, or you went to a seminar, whatever, like any way to commemorate something that was important. I don't know. And that's basically what I did here. This is something we talked about in therapy. I wanted to remember it, so I kind of made it a little pretty and went for it. All right, and then the last one was, and this again, not a collection in the fact that I'm tracking anything. I am actually just kind of reflecting on something. So I wanted to make my version of artsy, because again, I'm not artistic at all. But we had a solar eclipse, and that's like almost, it's not something you see every day. Let's go with that. Here where I live, it was a 93% totality. I didn't get to, go up to the 100% totality line, but we still had a really, really good view, and it was just really cool. And again, like, it's not something that happens every day, so I wanted to make sure that I put it into my journal. So remember, collections in your bullet journal need to be very, very personal to you. It's one thing to just look on Pinterest and be like, oh, I need a books to read collection on my bullet journal. But if you don't have the time to read, and you don't read a lot of books, or you don't want to read a lot of books, whatever, then a books to read collection in your bullet journal is honestly going to make you either depressed because you feel like you're not doing enough, or it's just going to get neglected and it's just going to be a page that you don't use. And remember, bullet journals can be a little pricey sometimes, so why use a page that you don't want? But as you can see, collections can span a huge array of things, and they can literally be anything that you want, to be perfectly honest. I'm working on a collection spread on the different chakras and working on meditation. I'm very, very excited to start learning that, and I feel like putting a collection into my bullet journal will help commemorate my beginning into learning that, but also it'll be a really good reference material. So as long as it's something that you're referring back to, or that it's kind of a reflection or a memory, then you know what? Go for it. Put it in your journal. I mean, who am I to tell you what to put in your journal or not? And that is day 5 of our 7-part mini-series, Bullet Journaling for Beginners. Again, make sure that you hit that red button down below and subscribe. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about using a habit tracker and implementing that into your bullet journal and the different ways that you can do that. So definitely make sure that you stay tuned for that. And remember, after this series is over, we're still going to be posting videos every single Thursday. We'll just not be doing it every single day. But every Thursday, we will have a video posted for you. So that's all for today. Talk to you later. Goodbye.